Hello, and this is the Warpforge with a hobby update with a character that we all know and a lot of us really do like. It is Heath Ledgers Joker from the Batman Miniatures game or from the Dark Knight trilogy. As you see here, I took him off his metal easer. He comes with a slaughter base. He is a slaughter base, so I cut off the slaughter base and glued him onto a base, which is from the Fantascape range. It's one of the ice bases, but I painted it to look like City Road, as in looks like he's just blown up a bit of road, a bit of concrete. So there's that. And then I just did a bit of filing on the feet so that they will be flat, and then glued it onto the base, obviously. Undercoat with matte black, and I used a lot of Vigello or whatever you call it. I used the purples for Royal Purple as a base coat from Vigello's game colour. I then used Hexed Lichen as a secondary base coat, but I added a bit of water. Not too much that became a wash, but just a little bit so that the paint was fluid enough to go around. I then, for highlighting, which you'll see on the back, on the, if I have a scalpel, because my pin has apparently disappeared. Ooh, hang on. Robots, where the cape's highest, I used a mix of the Hexed Lichen or Lichen from Vigello's game colour with a mix of Vigello's game colour's Dead White. I'll let that I'll just push this in. My apologies, I'm just wanting for it to zoom in. Hey. So as you see there, the heightened colours was just a mix of Hexed Lichen from Vigello's game colour, with a mix of Dead White. I then dry brushed a little bit more of Dead White on top, and then I washed it down with Games Workshop's Citadel wash of Leviathan Purple. And I did this with all the highlights. I did the same highlighting on the shoulder pads and then washed it down with Games Workshop's Leviathan Purple. For his trousers, there, that's a better way. For his trousers, I used Lichen Purple as a heavy base coat, and then, Hexed Lichen, sorry, and then I mixed Hexed Lichen with the Dead White, and then I didn't give it a wash or anything to make it look a bit more stark. I then highlighted or freehanded with the Negro Black from Vigello's game colour, the black stripes. The green shirt, I used a particular green, and I know which one it was. Yes, it was that one. It was a dark green for a base coat from Vigello's game colour, and then I did dark colour again with a mix of Dead White. So the mix of dark green with Dead White, it made it more stark, but it was too bright, so I washed it down with Citadel's washes of Thraka Green. The hair, as I did, was done with Vigello's Dark Green, or you could use Dark Angel's Green from Games Workshop's paints. And then I dry brushed with Games Workshop's paints Camo Green, so it is an old paint, but it still works and it was a nice effect. And I just did a few slight dry brushes to build it up. The highlighting was Skull White, yeah, Dead White, Skull White for Citadel, Dead White for Vigello. And it looked a bit too bright, so I washed it down with Leviathan Purple. The tie, I basically just did a very careful base coat of Camo Green, so I think that went out very well. His face, I first of all used Pale Flesh, just as a base coat, because it makes the white more brighter and more thicker, because you don't want to see black coming through the white. because the two colours are very different, they're very opposite, so it's quite hard to have a constant colour or a constant consistency of white on top of black. So basically I did that, and then I base coated white on top of it. I found it was too bright, so I washed it down with a bit of Badab Black, or you could use a watered down version of Negro Black from Vigello's Game Colour, and then dry brushed a little bit more white on top. I then went to work on the smile, in which case I used the Gory Red from Vigello's Game Colour free-handedly, well, used it as a freehand. And then for his lips, his actual lips, I got a brighter red from it wasn't Corn Red. It was Wazdaka Red from Citadel's paint range. It is a Citadel layer for those who want to be more detailed. And the eyes, I just gave it a little pinprick of Negro Black and just slightly drawn down a little bit just to make it look a bit more like makeup. What do I like? Oh, before I forget, the gun was basically lead belcher metal or gunmetal silver from Vigello, or lead belcher from Citadel, and then washed it down with Badab Black, or you could use a watered down version of Badab Black for the same effect. So all in all, it's quite a nice mini. The base, sorry, I'll zoom down a bit. The base was done with a base coat of the Cold Grey from Vigello. I then washed it down with Badab Black and then slowly built it up with Cold Grey again, and then highlighted some of the sharper edges with Cold Grey to make it really stand out. And the white paint markings I used free-handedly. I used a freehand painting style of the Wolf Grey from Vigello to create the shape. I then highlighted each centre with dead white Vigello Game Colour. The lip was basically a basic base coat of dark green from Vigello, then camel green for the lip of the base. Now if this will zoom in, which it will, hey. What I'm happy with this miniature is I like all the painting, and I think me experimenting with it, because I don't usually mix colours, so this was a first, but I really wanted to get them to look right. I personally feel I've done very well for this mini. I like it. My only criticism with this mini is he is supposed to have his scars on his cheek. However, when you apply paint onto it, you cannot see the scars. So I think there needs to be sharper detail, in my opinion, to see the scars so that you can paint onto them. So I basically had to freehand them. But apart from that, it's a really nice mini. It's fine detail. I'm going to enjoy using them in games with my Joker gang alongside Mr. Freeze. And apart from that, I would give this 5 stars out of 5 stars, because this is a brilliant mini and I absolutely love Heath Ledgers Joker. So, this is the Warpforge signing off. If you like what you see, and there's a lot more in general wargaming on this channel, then please hit the subscribe button, give it a like if you want. If there's any comments about this mini, just give us a comment. This is the Warpforge signing off, and remember, keep on forging.